Hey guys, Marsing in here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about a unit that is, I don't know if I should even say is controversial, I don't know. It's a unit that a lot of people out there love, a lot of people are sick and tired of hearing about. I guess it ranges from a whole bunch of different opinions, really. So, and that is, of course, our boy TEQ Gohan. So, we're already starting off badly with a turn where he's not getting a lot of ki because we don't have his link partner on rotation, which is a little bit annoying. But the reason why we are going to do this video on this guy right here is because this guy is going to make a huge comeback very soon. I mean, actually, should I even say comeback? I'm sure there's people already. I don't know what I'm going to title the video. I probably shouldn't call it that either, right? Because I'm sure there's a bunch of people who are going to be quite happy to tell everybody that he never left. Because, you know, he's been a very good unit for quite a long time. I mean, greatly raising defense on super attack while having guaranteed guard is ridiculous. And they haven't done a unit like this in a very long time because he can still be so good. So we are going to try him out here on the 200% team with Birdku. I have done this showcase before when Carnival Goku came out, but it's more just so to talk about the fact that this guy is obviously going to see a massive resurgence with the release of Beast Gohan very, very soon. Because when we take a look at his links, obviously he has links like All in the Family, very powerful defensive link at level 10. He also has Cold Judgment. Like, imagine if Beast Gohan has both of those links, which I could honestly imagine him having. Now, obviously, we know from the reveal of the live stream with the character names that he's going to start off as Ultimate Gohan, which is obviously technically this character, right? So that means in pre-transformation, they're going to be able to link. And then, of course, as soon as he actually transforms, his links do change slightly. None of them are really like the specific Ultimate Gohan links. Like Power Bestowed by God is, but he already has that in base. I don't know if Beast Gohan will have that. There's not really a lot of lore about the Beast Gohan form. You could argue that he could never have attained that form if the Elder Kai hadn't released his potential during the Buu saga. So then you could argue that it's like an offshoot of the ultimate form and therefore he should have Power Bestowed by God. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have it. But All in the Family, Cold Judgment, Fierce Battle, at least in his base state. Saiyan Lineage maybe. I don't know about Brainiacs for Beast Gohan. Probably not Revival, obviously. So they're going to share a couple of links, but if they share these ones in particular, then they're going to be looking very, very good. Because I am going to assume that when Beast Gohan transforms, he is going to become a very powerful offensive unit because, you know, obviously, right? He just absolutely demolishes Cell Max once he transforms. Finishes him off with Special Beam Cannon, which I'm assuming if he transforms like a proper transformation unit, the Special Beam Cannon will just be his 18 key super. I can't imagine them being transforming units and then him having another active skill. Only because it then raises the question of what his animation's going to be for the 12 key and 18 key super. Because I've always thought that if Beast Gohan was going to be an LR, then the 18 key will be the Special Beam Cannon and the 12 key is just going to have to be something basically original. The way I've always thought about it is that it should probably be like just a combo of attacks and then finish off with that big kick that he does to Cell after he blocks the punch. Well, I say blocks. He just stands there and tanks it. Although, I do think it would be very cool if he had that as a super attack counter. So you have like the little cut-in of his face comes in and then it's just him doing the kick. I think that would be super cool. But then obviously that's using up that animation that could then be used for something else. So I'm not really sure if that is the best way to go. So let's see if UI Goku can actually not throw here. Because we could get him almost fully built up if he gets the dodges here. So we'll go ahead and do this. And then we'll do this. Powerful Comeback is not really one of my favourite teams to run. I don't like the fact that that's the category they chose for Carnival Goku. Powerful Comeback, whilst there are obviously very good units on it, I don't think it is a great category for only being able to make a team out of that category. At least for me personally. as much as Carnival Goku is very good, just like not a huge fan of Powerful Comeback as a category, as a solo category. I think it's fine if you have Powerful Comeback and something else, right, to supplement it, but not a huge fan of this category overall. But Gohan is on here. Obviously, STR Ultimate Gohan is on here as well. Provides defensive support to allies. He does provide support, extra support to Savior's allies, which I could see Gohan being in, right? Because, I mean, he goes there to save Pan in his base form and then Ultimate, which is what the card starts off as, right? So I could definitely see him being on the Savior's category, so he's going to be getting that extra support from STR Ultimate Gohan as well. But the thing is, I've never been a fan, like you guys know if you've been around the channel for a while, especially when we've done like the big one was the no item runs against the Android ESBR stage. You guys know how much I dislike Chance to Guard. So I feel like a lot of the time when I use STR Ultimate Gohan, I end up being disappointed. So I would very much like a new partner for TEQ Gohan. So having him and then Beast Gohan, because I'm assuming whatever Beast Gohan's leader skill is, hopefully TEQ Gohan is going to be on there. It would obviously be very cool if, depending on how they do his two 170s and then a 30, because obviously he's a Dokkan Fest exclusive LR. Hopefully he gives hybrids a 200%, right? They'd have to do 2 categories and then do hybrids as the 30%. And then hopefully the 2 categories they pick, you can then cover off like most of the hybrids category. I feel like one of his leader skills is going to be one that will include like the Piccolos, because obviously you're going to want to run them together. I'm assuming they're both going to work on each other's leader skills, but obviously we don't know that yet. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. But this Gohan, I think he's going to be almost like a must run, I guess, on Beast Gohan's team, because a lot of people, when it comes to the hybrids teams and defense teams, there will always be this argument raging on about defense versus offense. But you do obviously need to have units that do both, right? Like if you could somehow make a team that was 6 AGL Golden Freezers, it would take you like 3 hours to beat Red Zone Broly or something, right? So you do want to have a mix of both. And so if we get Beast Gohan, who, you know, starts off decently enough defensively and then becomes an absolute monster, especially offensively once he's transformed, then having a partner for him like Ultimate Gohan is obviously going to be really, really good. Are we just above the HP threshold for the revive? We are. Oh my god, that's terrible. So I think I'm going to have to go ahead and use an item here, and we still might die. Depending on how the turn plays out, so that is unfortunate. We'll go ahead and do this, and then get the physical orbs for you. Not ideal, because when I'm doing these videos, I guess it's not really so much of a showcase. I wanted to just talk about TEQ Gohan, so it makes sense to have gameplay in the background. And of course, UI doesn't dodge, so does he die even with the Wii Sup? I think he does. Ooh, we just about survived. I can't believe we didn't get the revive last turn. And then, oh no, wait, we did get the revive. What am I talking about? But because we were above the HP threshold, then that means this Carnival Goku should guard. I was so busy talking about Gohan, even though I literally saw the animation play out. Wait, we were above the HP threshold at the start of the turn, weren't we? Maybe I am just completely losing it at this point. And then they don't dodge, great. Even with a Whis active, they take 100k. I was just kind of hoping this would be a nice, like, easy, you know, let's just go into a stage and see Gohan do his thing and, you know, see what kind of numbers he gets up to. But apparently it's not going to allow me to do that easily. I should have just done something like this, right? I wanted to show Gohan being good, but I'd have to double check off the top of my head what 200% teams he's actually on. But I thought it'd be easy enough to just jump in on the Powerful Comeback team, because then at least he's just getting a straight up 200% leader skill. But unfortunately, that was not the case. So I don't expect Beast Gohan, or at least I'm going to keep saying Beast Gohan, but obviously he starts off as Ultimate Gohan. I'm not going to expect him to have any kind of support passive. I feel like that would be maybe a little bit too much. I don't know what exactly he's going to do, but if he has a supporting base, that would be pretty cool. But if he doesn't give any support, then I guess it does definitely still leave that slot on the team. Because if you can run TEQ Gohan, you should be able to run STR Ultimate Gohan, depending on what the leader skill is. I don't think there's many category combinations where you wouldn't be able to run both of them on the same team. So you might still be able to run him for the support. But at least we're going to get to see a little bit of what Gohan looks like here on a 200% team. Like I say, I just kind of wanted the video to be talking about TEQ Gohan a little bit. I did at least want to get one turn against the Metal Cooler Core with him, but the team had other ideas, so it's probably just easier to do this, and we can see some numbers out of him. Because like I say, I'm expecting, or I'm hoping but expecting, that he's going to get a 200% leader skill from the new Gohan, so obviously he's then going to become like a very solid unit on that team. So they only share 3 links to start off with, but imagine if Beast Gohan had Cold Judgment as well. He's starting off on turn 1 at 220k defense, so that's going to be, what, over 250 if Cold Judgment is active. And then as soon as we get even one super attack off, it obviously starts to go up quite significantly. So we'll go ahead and do this. Obviously early on we should just be tanking for double-digit damage. And then attack stat-wise, I mean, he's getting the support from STR Ultimate Gohan, because obviously he's on Saviors. But that's the big thing you have to remember. A lot of people meme about Gohan by saying that he doesn't do any damage in the early turns. Like, people will post screenshots of him on turn 1 with like no support, where he's doing like a 1 million attack stat. But this is a good rotation for him, obviously, running him with STR Ultimate Gohan on a 200% team, and he just put out 2 4 million attack stats on turn 1, both of which are greatly raising his defense. So immediately at the beginning of the next turn, he's now going to have much significantly higher defense. And then it's just the fact that STR Ultimate Gohan in slot 2 is a little bit of a liability. Like I said, I don't really like to rely on him when I don't have to. But now imagine when that slot 2 unit is the new Gohan instead, right? And he's then spitting out, you know, I guess linked up with TEQ Gohan. They might not share all the links, but that team is going to have access to some really good support units as well, I imagine, depending on the categories he gets. But Hybrids has a lot of good support units anyway, right, to choose from. So you imagine Gohan in slot 1, we saw there, tanks for double digits with the guard, spits out a 4 million attack stat, not the craziest, but still good, right? And then you have this new Gohan in slot 2, he's going to probably be doing what, like 7 to 10 million on turn 1, depending on how powerful they want to make his pre-transformed state. So that rotation is going to go so hard, and that's kind of like the main thing that I'm looking forward to, and the reason why I wanted to do this video. I know TEQ Gohan can be seen as a bit of a divisive unit in the community, because there are a lot of people that are sick and tired of hearing all the hybrid stands going on about him constantly. But he is a fantastic unit. Like, I do like offense. I've never been like a full defense like guy. And so it's fun for me on Twitter, like memeing with the hybrid stands and stuff. But I've always loved this TEQ Gohan since he came out. I think he's a great unit, and the fact that he's aged so well is just awesome. It's just the fact that obviously people think that him and his team and just full-on like turtle defense teams are the best thing since sliced bread, which for me it's not as fun of a play style, but it's certainly reliable. So turn 2, with the support from STR Gohan, but no extra support in slot 3, he's already at 438k defense with guard. So he's already tanking basically everything, right? Like, I think a super attack might still do more than double digits, but it's not exactly going to do like crazy amounts of damage to him. Well, I guess we're going to find out. So obviously not the hardest hitting enemy in the world, but yep, there we go, double digits. And then we're at 4.9. So if he gets an additional here, he breaks 5 million on his second turn. Mine is built for full additional, because obviously that's the way you want to go. So double super on both of his first appearances. So I feel almost obliged now. We have to see at least his next rotation, right, to see what he's getting. I didn't bring any other like floating support units, because it would be good to see a turn where he's getting support as well. Because yeah, he's going to look crazy at that point. Oh look, they can't finish him off. That's actually perfect, because it means we get to our next Gohan turn faster. Because we can start off the next turn here and then just finish this guy off. So that's actually worked out quite nicely for us here. So let's go ahead and we'll put my Goku in slot 1. Because yeah, his 18 key super isn't a key blast, is it? So go ahead and do this, and then yeah, we'll get to see Gohan. So Gohan's third appearance after double supering on both of his turns. he's going to be looking pretty spicy. So, like I say, if Beast Gohan doesn't have any kind of support in his passive, which I don't think he will, then obviously the TEQ Gohan's numbers aren't going to be looking this high unless you are running a support unit, because he is getting a very nice amount of support from STR Ultimate Gohan. But this is him on his 3rd appearance, and yeah, he's rocking 657k defense after getting the double super, right? That is pretty damn good for this meta, like considering we are on turn 6 and he can tank everything in the game now, basically. And of course, he's just going to greatly raise his defense again in a minute. So, do I want to transform? I guess I am going to end the video here, right? So, let's go ahead and transform and then see what we're looking at here. So, we're at 698k. Because remember, once we transform, we no longer stack defense, but we do get higher start of turn defense. We still have guard. We then get our permanent attack buff once he's been attacked once, right? Once he's transformed, which then means you don't really have to use him in slot 2. He's more of a slot 1 unit anyway, right? But if you use him in slot 2 untransformed, he doesn't get that extra attack bonus before he attacks. But once you've transformed and he takes a hit, like if once you, let's say for example, once you transform the new Gohan into Beast Gohan, he actually becomes an insanely powerful defensive unit, then obviously that would allow you to put him in slot 1 and then just transform this Gohan, put him in slot 2, and after he's taken that first hit, he's going to have that attack buff for the entire rest of the fight. So, man, Gohan's still looking pretty good, and yeah, I feel like he's only going to get even better with the release of Beast Gohan. So, very much looking forward to that release. 7.8 million. I mean, again, this is when we talk about defensive units. 7.8 million when he basically can't take damage is pretty good, right? It's not as high as some like damage dealing units are putting out, but he essentially can't take damage from pretty much anything at this point. So I will take that kind of attack stat paired with that level of defense. So, and again, remember, this is him without Cold Judgment active, because STR Ultimate Gohan doesn't have that. So he could also have an extra defensive boost on top of that if Beast Gohan has both of those links, which if he does, putting those two together, that rotation is going to be absolutely crazy. So let me know what you guys think down below. I'm sure there's a bunch of you out there who have always and still love TEQ Gohan. Maybe some of you are in that camp where you're a little bit sick and tired of hearing about him at this point, but I really do feel like once these new units come out, he is, you're just going to see people talking about him even more, because he is definitely a unit that has stood the test of time. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.